So when I grew up, I always thought I would become a history teacher, but then I decided to work for a nature conservancy group at the Wadden Sea in Germany for a semester. And that is really where my passion for just the environment awakened.
The project I work on is called Navigating the New Arctic, Landscape Evolution and Adapting to Change in Ice-Rich Permafrost Systems. And my role is coordinating a large multidisciplinary team of scientists and engineers, as well as coordinating our collaboration with the school and the community in Point Lay, Alaska.
Living here in Fairbanks, I realized that the Arctic is sometimes depicted as just this rather lonesome and monotonous landscape that doesn't really hold any particular value apart from large oil reserves. But it really does show strong interactions among snow, permanently frozen ground, soil characteristics, the vegetation on top, and it presents an important breeding ground for birds or many other mammal species. We are in general looking at the impacts of infrastructure on the environment. So we're comparing how gas fluxes, or if CO2, for example, is taken up more by the vegetation, so that would take CO2 out of the system, or if it gives off more in different vegetation types, and how that relates to moisture conditions, permafrost conditions, or other soil variables.
Well, developing real-world, place-based educational materials related to permafrost and housing was part of our outreach plan for our NSF grant from the beginning. But we received strong confirmation from the community that this was important to them too. In fact, the tribal president told us that we need to include local students in our project, especially because they're going to inherit the problems being caused by thawing permafrost, and some of them may become the next generation of scientists.
And since the coming generations will bear really the brunt of the burden and experience the full impact of the changing environment, it is necessary, in my mind, to educate youth as early as you can, and giving them the background and the tools on what they might be able to do in the future.
Well, for us, youth engagement was virtual, which of course was not ideal, but we made it work. We reached out to the village school while we were still developing our grant proposal to see what kind of relationship they wanted. We had thought that we would be working with middle school and high school grades, but we were really surprised that the teachers who responded were a high school science teacher and a first and second grade teacher. Well, we met with the teachers first to brainstorm activities that we could do and that would work out with their curriculum and their students. And then we created lesson plans for each activity at both age levels. And we shipped all the equipment that they would need up to Point Lay. We also provided some photos that they could put on their bulletin boards in their classroom. And then one of our engineers donated a thermal imaging camera to the school.
And one of the activities that I designed was a snow activity for elementary students, where the students went out directly out of their house door, so they were already in a place-based situation there. And the activity gave the students the opportunity to shovel their own snow pits and interact with the snow characteristics that they saw on the ground.
Our project actually addressed quite a few of the NGSSs. Under cross-cutting concepts, the interdependence of science, engineering, and technology, that's really what the Navigating the New Arctic program from the National Science Foundation is all about. Under disciplinary core ideas, earth materials and systems, the structure and properties of matter. And then for practices, asking questions and defining problems, planning and carrying out investigations, and there's probably more.
If you pair your science lessons with hands-on place-based activities and other local interactions, I think that is the best way to teach the students. And I think if you are not a scientist yourself as a teacher and feel a little bit out of the water there, please make sure to use scientists as much as you can,